Peter, we are live. Are you ready to go or what?
I'm born ready. I'm always ready. I'm energized. I love the game changers that are on this call. We're ready to give them some massive, massive value. Let's go.
Guys, this is going to be fun. Peter and I were just talking a couple weeks ago about 2017 and really looking back at a lot of things that worked out well and some things that didn't. And most importantly, the conversation that came up was around you guys and what you can do to really separate yourself. So right now, like, this is so important as we end 2017 and get into 2018. Like, this is the time, Peter. So talk a little bit about why you're excited about what we're going to talk about here today.
Well, first of all, one of the reasons I got into this business and I started doing these, Austin, was because there were so many trainings and so many things that I was seeing that didn't actually give me real value. Maybe they inspired me for a second, but they didn't give me tactical value. So I'm like, dude, I'm creating trainings that actually give people a real roadmap and real value and a real competitive advantage to where they're like, man, I'm paying $5,000 for this course, but Peter's webinar is way more valuable. So I'm excited to give them some actual tactics that have helped me go from broke and struggling and stressed to 6 figures and 7 figures, but more importantly, to have a lifestyle that I'm proud of, that I can travel and do what I want. So I don't even know what you asked me. I'm just fired up because I hate the trainings that are just like inspirational and they don't give them any value. So I'm excited to give value, man. That's it.
We're going to talk about some real world strategies, some real world tactics, and real world results. We're going to share Peter's story. We're going to share a couple of case studies of like what our members and students have done, and exactly, most importantly, what you can do as well. So the chat is already blowing up. So guys, go ahead and comment as you get started here. Where are you calling in from? It looks like we've got an amazing group already.
What's up, Jamie? What's up, Nick? Indiana in the house. Isabel, Lisa, Oscar. I see Denver in the house. Always international. It's crazy how like technology has exploded these last couple of years. What's up, Craig? What's up, River, Shawnee, Sammy, Marty, Rebecca, Deshaun, Arizona in the house, Germany in the house, Sacramento in the house. Love it. This is amazing.
So many great places. Look at this. We got Baton Rouge, Chicago, Phoenix. We got Texas, Virginia, Massachusetts, Colombia, New Zealand, more New England, more Michigan, more San Diego people. What's up, my San Diego friends? New York, London, guys, Moscow. All right, now we're going global. All right,
I'll be in New York in 5 days. I'm excited. Yep. Vegas in the house. I love it. So let's. I mean, I'm ready to dive in, Austin. And by the way, guys, we made a promise to ourselves and to you. We didn't go through back and forth the script perfectly. So me and him can go, okay, you talk here. We're just going to be fully authentic and give up the need to be perfect to just be authentic with you guys. So I might interrupt him. He might interrupt me. If he has a thought, the number one thing besides us looking good and being perfect is giving you guys a roadmap and giving you real value. That's it. So keep that in mind when we go through the presentation. But yeah, let's dive in, Austin, to kind of explain. I want to explain to them why it's important. So do you want to share your screen and we'll kind of dive in?
Before we get into that, guys, we don't mess around here. Like within the next like 60 seconds, we're going to start and like get right into it. Get your pen out, get your paper out. Take this next 60 minutes like dead seriously. Like your future, not to say that it hinges on this next 60 minutes, but for some of you, it is going to hinge. And there's like this upward trajectory that you can go with these strategies that we're going to show you. So if you have any tech issues, press refresh. We're using Webinar Jam. We always have some people that have some video issues or whatever. Just press refresh and you'll be good to go. The chat, we want you to be active, but as we get into the frameworks, we want you to be really engaged in the content because I want you to really think about A, why you're here, and we'll talk about that in a second, and then B, what you're going to do about it. Okay, what are you going to do by taking this information that we share that are proven strategies and implement it to ultimately get to your goals? Well, that's what I want you to be writing down, taking seriously, not being in your email, not being in your Facebook, because this is something that most people would and have already paid thousands of dollars for. And you guys are getting access to this for free because we really want you to hit the ground running in 2018 and end 2017 strong. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Oh, and one last thing. The end, we're going to come back to all of your questions. Okay, so that's one of the most valuable times is when we get into your questions, get into the things that you guys emailed us about. Peter, like we got so many emails, and I saw you responding to a bunch of them. We've got a lot of great things to talk about in the Q&A session, but nonetheless, we've got a lot to share before then. So I'm going to press share my screen, and let's see. Boom. You guys can see my screen, right?
Nope, not yet.
Oops.
Sandy, Louisiana in the house. Portia, Los Angeles. What's up, guys?
All right.
South Africa. Love it. We're international in here.
That's right. That's right. All right, let's get right into it. It's go time. Peter, take it away, my friend.
So this is the formula we created. And this isn't a formula that we thought about in our heads. It's actually when we went through the previous 10 plus years of our life, how we were both able to build networks and really how to leverage your circle of influence to fuel massive growth and success next year. Because I don't know if you guys know this, 2018 already started for the successful people. The mediocre and most of society thinks it starts January 1st. They're going to be way behind. So let me tell you why this is important right now. And this is very important to understand, because if you don't know why it's important, you don't know the competitive advantage you can have, you're not going to take it as seriously. So first, right now is the greatest time in human history to be alive. With all the resources possible, there's been more wealth created the last couple of years than the previous 100 combined. And right now, I'm seeing such a big transfer of money, and age is irrelevant. Experience is irrelevant. It doesn't matter if you're 15 or 57 right now. All excuses have been broken. There's no excuses left. That's the crazy thing. So that's where we want to run this to give you guys the competitive advantage. But I'm going to say this multiple times, and you've heard me say this. We both know 14, 15, 16, and we have a 17-year-old we're going to talk about that are making 500,000 plus. And I know broke 50 and 60-year-olds. One's willing to change and adapt and learn and become valuable. One's stubborn, right? And one's trying to do it all by themselves. So here's the deal. 95% of people are stressed, underpaid, and overwhelmed. So the richer are getting richer, or the rich are getting richer, and the poor are getting poorer. And here's the deal. It's the most exciting time in human history, but 95% of people are stressed. There is a huge disconnect. And it's because, and we'll talk about it, there's so much information, not enough execution, and not enough of the right information, which we're going to give you as well. Also, right now, not knowing some of this stuff, and me not knowing this when I was broke and frustrated, you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table, not knowing some of these facts and some of these tactics and some of these philosophies that me and Austin are going to share with you. Like if you fast forward 6 months to a year, you're going to lose a lot of money not knowing some of these things that I tell you. So that's why it's so important for this webinar. And the game has changed. I mean, what worked 5 or 10 years ago doesn't work anymore. We get people that reach out to us all the time, Austin, that were successful 5 or 10 years ago online. They're like, I was making 40, 50 grand a month, and now I'm not making anything. I don't know how to adapt to these new times. We have dedicated the last 4 or 5 years and became obsessed with what's working now. Not 5 years ago, what's working now. So you guys got to really, it's adapt or die in this new economy. And by the end of this training, you'll have a clear roadmap on how to join the 5%. And I don't just mean 5% that make all the money. I mean the 5% that are the happiest, that are the most fulfilled, that love what they do, that have an inspiring lifestyle. They have choices. They can do what they want when they want. Because I know people that have 100 million that are stressed and frustrated and lonely, right? It's not about that. It's about being world-class in every area. And most importantly, you'll know how to reach your goals on your terms, your own way. And what we've done is we've kind of simplified the training where there's a lot of information. There's like 3 hours of information, but you didn't need it all. We know that time is so precious, and time's life's most precious commodity. We don't want to waste your time. We want to give you the 20% of the information that's going to yield you the highest results. So we've simplified the training and took it from 3 hours. Actually, you did a lot of this, Austin, so much respect to you for taking a long time to simplify. And then me and you went back and forth for a while to make sure the training was top notch. But it's only 45 minutes to an hour when it usually is 3. But we took out anything that wasn't relevant to you. So we're going to give you real case studies. We're also going to give you kind of an implementation plan as well. And I do want to let you guys know that, what it's saying.
Yeah, the slides aren't catching up, but just keep going, Peter, because I'll catch up with you. It's not responding for some reason.
So here's what you guys got to realize when we simplified it and why people are struggling. It's not your fault. The education system, what people are promoting, a lot of gurus out there, they're just not giving you the right information. There's a lot of myths that I'm going to bust today, but I don't want you to take it personally. It's not your fault. I had all the ambition in the world, and I had a lot of energy and a lot of goals, but I was broke. I didn't have the right roadmap. So then I realized when I kept being so tough on myself, geez, I wasn't taught the right roadmap. From age like 6 to 18, 19, 20, I was taught to be a follower, not a leader. So I don't want you to take it personally. It's not your fault. Now, Austin, I want you to kind of talk about what brought them here, because me and you were both looking at all their goals as far as like why they want to be on this call, because it starts with why, and then you're going to get the results when you know why you want to succeed and be here.
Yeah, exactly. And so many of you already emailed in why. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's a job that you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired at, right? What is your why? I want you to go ahead and right now, go ahead and type in the chat. And there's about a 45-second delay between when you guys type in the chat and when we can see it. But go ahead and type in right now. And I'll just catch up on slides here, because what I want you to do is write that at the top of your notebook, or if you're using the Evernote or something, write that at the top and bold it, because I want you to circle it, bold it, whatever you've got to do, because I want you to keep that in mind as we go through this framework, because what we're ultimately trying to do is give you the roadmap to help you get to that vision, to get to that why of what you're really here for. So go ahead and type that in right now, guys.
If you don't have a why, it's tough to have the how and actually use the tactics we're going to give you. You got to have a strong why that fires you up.
Shawnee says she's ready to choose herself. Love it, Shawnee.
Financial freedom.
Become a thought leader. Financial freedom. Quit my job. Take control. That's what it's all about there, Boyd.
Love it.
I see
wealth for my family.
I've seen so many things here the past couple of days that you guys have been emailing in about freedom, about family, and just ultimately about what Peter talked about 3 minutes ago, which is doing it on your terms. All right. I don't care if it's $1 million, $10,000, $100 million. It's got to be on your terms, or it's not completely fulfilling, right?
100%. I mean, I have people all the time, Austin, that are making $300,000-$400,000 in corporate. And they're like, Peter, I'd rather make 60 and be with my daughter and be able to do what I want. I'd rather make 60,000 on my own terms than make 400 working for someone that tells me what to do. And I'm like, wow. And I get that a lot now. So I think people are really understanding now that it's more important than ever to have no regret and to do it on your terms. So you're more right than ever.
That's it. So who are we? You guys know my man, Peter Voog, best-selling author. My name's Austin Netzley, guys. Peter and I have been working together for almost 3.5 years now, starting with the book 6 Months to Six Figures. My last company was Epic Launch. I worked with a lot of great authors and helped them launch and leverage their book. And Peter was my most successful client. And we decided, hey, we want to build an empire. We want to change a lot of lives. Let's do it together. And we've got a mission here to do exactly that. So we're both #1 best-selling authors. Together, we've created a 6-figure or more income stream in over 12 different industries. Actually, we probably got to update that. It's probably 14 now. But we've got a couple programs together, like 6 Months to Six Figures and our high-end Game Changers Inner Circle program. But you guys know Peter, and a lot of you, go ahead and type in the chat if you've read this book. This book has been sold over 250,000 times all throughout the world. We're actually updating it to come out with an updated and expanded version because it really just took off. Now between Audible and Amazon, it's got over 5,000 ratings, and that's going up every single day. It's been on the homepage of Audible for a while now. You've seen Peter featured on Forbes and Entrepreneur every single week, and Time, and the Huffington Post, and Inc., and Business Insider, and some of the biggest stages in the world. This is overseas, and Peter, you're getting ready to travel here in a couple of days to go to New York City to speak again on one of the biggest stages with Eric Thomas. You've been featured as one of the top millennial mentors with Ramit Sethi and Marie Forleo and Gary Vee and your boy G. So, and then just recently here, I spoke on Success Stage with Brenda Burchard and Les Brown and some of the biggest names in personal development. And it's been an awesome transformation to see you over the past 3 years just really explode, Peter. And the cool thing is you're only getting started. But here's the most important thing that we want to share about all this is that you didn't start out this way, did you?
No, I mean, I talked about it at the Success Live event. If you were there, I remember being at events like that, sitting in the back, like discouraged and frustrated and thinking like, man, these people are way different than me. Not only was I not thinking I could ever speak, but I was thinking I couldn't make money as an entrepreneur. So to go from that to actually being on stage is kind of surreal to think about. But yeah, I've failed my way to success. And I felt like I was working all the time. I didn't see my results improve. I felt like my business was running me. I thought for me, Austin, I thought drive and passion was enough to succeed, and it's not. So I got into entrepreneurship without like a strategy or a mentor. and I had information overload. I was frustrated, discouraged. So to answer your question, no, I've had jobs I've hated. I moved to Seattle to start a business. It failed. I went broke, and I didn't even have enough money to go to the drive-thru. And these are things that people don't really talk about. They always want to talk about their success, but I've had a lot of failures that I used to cover up because I was like, I don't want to tell people these things. But now I'm proud of it, because without those, I wouldn't be where I am today. So you're 100% right. I've had more failures than successes, and that's kind of what made me successful today. And I could keep talking about my failures, but
if you guys feel like your ambition and your bank account aren't matching up, well, guess what? You're in the right spot. And Peter and I have both been where we felt really like ambitious and like we wanted these big goals, but our results were embarrassing. And if you're in that situation, don't worry, because now we're going to give you some actual strategies that you can implement that we've done ourselves and we've taught other people to do in our academy to help get the same results. All right. So it's time to take that ambition and get it to match that bank account. So Peter, your story, you were, not only could you not afford the Wendy's drive-thru, you were in a pretty obviously low point of your life. Mentally, you're sitting in your apartment without any furniture, and you had a couple decisions to make, right?
And well, first, the problem was if you ask society for help, they're like, oh, just work more. It's the stupidest answer you could have. Right. So I was working 40 hours a week, and then everyone's like, just hustle. It's like, okay, I hustled more. Then I worked 60 hours. Then I was up to 80, and my results didn't improve. Now I was worn out, tired, and I had no money. So like it says right there, I was like super motivated, but motivation is irrelevant if you don't have the right tactics. So I had to make a decision because I was frustrated and broke. And after a couple months, I'm like, something has to happen. And for me, here's the decisions. I could, one, abandon my dream and try something else and kind of settle for an average job. That's what most people do. And I was sitting there and I remember thinking like, okay, I could get a normal job. I'd have no more stress, no frustration. I could just go to work. And I was like, wait. And then I thought about all the things that I hated about that. People telling me what to do, me wasting my future, me having regret, all the times in my life from age like 13 to 18 or 19, when I saw people in my hometown struggling, hating their boss, hating what they did. So I was like, I can't do that. I cannot quit just because it's hard. I have to push forward. And then obviously the second door was figure it out. Period. Right? That's really the only two doors you have when you're struggling. It's like abandon your dreams and do something easy, like most people, have massive regret, or figure it out. And that's what I did. Is I dedicated myself to figuring it out. And the first thing I did was I made the definite decision, not a kind of decision. I made the definite decision that I was going to make it work. Period. Whether it got hard, easy, up, down, I was like, I'm going to make this work no matter what. And I decided to ignore everybody around me that didn't have the advice I want or the success I wanted, and listen to the people that had a voice of value, that had real results. So my challenge to you guys is make the decision right now that you're going to level up your game. I don't care if you're already making 200 grand. I'm looking in the chat and some of the people are actually on our academy and they're already making 6 figures. The fact that you're on here already making 6 figures is amazing. Whether you're making 30K, 50K, 300K, make a decision you're going to level up next year and that you're going to commit and go all in to make your dreams a reality. That's my challenge to you, because we've both done it, Austin. When you were working corporate, you hated what you were doing. You were kind of stuck in that corporate ladder. You had to make a decision. You're done. I have to do something else.
And here's the reality is a lot of people wait to make a decision until they're down and out, until they're at the bottom, which, Peter, that was your situation. My situation wasn't the same. Things were fine. Things were okay. I was already making 6 figures. And you know what? I wasn't doing it on my terms. So you can either wait until you hit rock bottom and have to make that decision, or for a lot of you, you can go from good to great and say that good or okay isn't good enough. And I want to commend all you guys for being here, because you're already telling us, you're not saying, you're actually telling us that you are committed and you've already made that decision. All right. So let's get it.
100%. And my biggest failure, thinking back, and this took me a couple months to figure out, because it's hard to it's hard to diss yourself in a way, but you have to be hard on yourself. My problem was I was trying to do it all myself. I was trying to figure out my website and the marketing and my messaging. And I was trying to not pay for any mastermind. I was like, I got to do it myself. And A, I got no results. B, I felt super overwhelmed. C, it discouraged me because I felt like I wasn't good enough, but I was working on my weaknesses, which anyone that works on their weaknesses is going to feel inferior and feel insecure and frustrated. You need to focus all in on your strengths. And I didn't have a network. So for me, that was the worst thing. And I look back why I succeeded and what the first step was for me to succeed was I built a network. It wasn't $1 million network right away, but I built $1 million network eventually that totally transformed my life. The quote that changed the game for me is, if you want to be a millionaire, talk to billionaires, you'll get there quicker. Now, it doesn't mean literally talk to billionaires, because you can't just be like, hey, let's call some billionaires today. I mean, if you want to get to 6 figures, talk to people making 7. So and we'll talk about the details of this, but that's what changed the game for me, Austin. I reached out to people that were making more money. People always ask me, how'd you go from broke to 6 figures? Well, I talked to people that are already making 6 figures and I followed their lead. How can I not get the 6 figures? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep.
So what I learned is your circle of influence is the most important thing on the absolute planet. That's why, this is why I want you guys to really conceptualize this. This is why 15-year-olds can make $1 million a year, and someone that has 20 years of experience in an industry makes 40 grand a year, because they say, oh, I got 20 years of experience. No, you don't. You have 1 year repeated 20 times without actually trying to improve every year, and you don't have a network. Yep. But I know people that are 15 that have an amazing network and they're making millions. So anyone that tells you it's not about network is not a true entrepreneur, and they either got an inheritance or they haven't really been through the trenches. Because that's, if I talk to any of my friends, whether it's Ryan Blair or Gerard or whether it's Lewis, I mean, anybody will tell you that it's your network. So I wanted to finally, because there's no trainings out there, I wanted to give you the tactics on how to build your $1 million network, so you have like a roadmap as well. So let's dive into that. I know there's multiple parts that we can go, Austin, but let's dive in.
Let's do it. All right. So there's 3 key pieces of $1 million network. And like Peter said, it's not necessarily going to be $1 million network overnight. It could be. We're going to show you the shortcut, but take this piece by piece. Really figure out where you're at right now. And if you can just improve each one of these 3 areas, boom, your life's going to change. Because it's an overused quote sometimes, but it's so true that I can't really say it's an overused quote. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. As Peter says, get around 5 confident people, you'll be the 6th. Get around 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th. All right. Figure out your environment, figure out your network, and that'll trickle into every single area of your life. So Peter, get into it.
I mean, there's nothing else that really makes a bigger difference on your success and your mindset than who you associate with on a daily basis. Like he said, if you hang out with 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th. It's guaranteed. What about 5 idiots, right? What about 5 alcoholics? I mean, just being honest. You're not going to find
that used to be me. That used to be me.
I didn't know that till way later. So I'm glad you didn't tell me that when we first partnered up. So good job telling me later. Actually, you don't even really drink anymore. So first thing is support. So friends, family, like your day-to-day operations. Do you have a support system that really makes you think bigger, that levels you up, that really is excited about your big goals? Because most small-minded people get insecure and mad when you talk about big goals.
Yep.
I remember when I was broke, I'm like, I'm going to make $1 million. You can't even make 100 grand. How are you going to make? It's like these broke people around me were trying to keep me broke so they could feel better. So I had to change my support network. And this is, I mean, the sad thing is you can't actually change your family, right? Because most people are like, geez, my family's negative. We'll teach you how to kind of lower your time with them. But if you're serious, you have to make some changes. So that's number one is support and really making sure that the people around you that you see on a day-to-day basis make you feel exceptional. Yeah. And life is too short to be with toxic people. And then peers, I mean, do you want to dive into the next 2 or go? We can.
No, let's go one by one here with the action items here. So guys, these are the 6 steps. So write these down. We're going to cover the 3 areas and ultimately give you 6 steps of how you can improve each one here.
Perfect. So step 1 is to really evaluate your circle of influence. Like really think about how the people around you are affecting your thinking, your action, your mindset, your thought process, and literally make a list. Like I want to make sure you guys create a make it or break it list. This is what I did in my 1-bedroom apartment when I was broke and frustrated. Now, I know a lot of you guys aren't broke, so I'm even behind where a lot of you guys were. So you have an advantage on me. But I made a list. I made a list of the 5 people. It's called growth friends and maintenance friends. So I made a list of the top 5 maintenance friends I had that really were holding me back. Maybe people that I felt like I needed to hang out with because I've known them since middle school. And it's like, well, I know them still. It's high school friends or college friends. I made a list. And I'm like, these people are holding me back. They don't fully believe in my vision. They don't make me feel confident. They make me feel inferior and insecure that I shouldn't think big, right? And then I made a list of my growth friends. And these might not even be people that I'm good friends with, people I want to be friends with. Growth friends are people that challenge your thinking, make you think bigger, help you level up. You're either hanging out with people that hold you accountable or let you off the hook. And most people I was with was letting me off the hook. Hey, I'm going to go study and write my goals down and work out Friday night. Dude, amazing idea. I'll do it with you. Versus, dude, come on, it's Friday night. You're 21 years old. Let's go drink and meet girls. Right? That's the difference there. And you fast forward that 5 or 10 years, you see a lot of people in their 30s stressed and frustrated and broke because in their 20s, they were like, let's party. Right? So you got to make sure you have those friends that challenge you. So that's the first step, Austin. And then what I did, simply put, I lowered the time I spent with my maintenance friends and I increased the time I spent with my growth friends. That's literally what I did. And oh my gosh, my success, my mindset, my peace of mind, everything started to go up. So that's really, really one of the first steps I did. And you've done the same thing. It's just you making sure you're evaluating who you're around on a daily basis and making sure that you're very selective.
It starts with complete awareness, guys. Before you fix anything, it starts with awareness. And that's why, Peter, you've been talking so much about self-awareness this year with the mixtapes and everything, right? Know yourself, know your environment, then you can easily fix it. But start with these two things, right? Evaluate your current circle of influence, put people into one group or the other, and then we're going to start to change it. But Peter, talk about this.
And most people don't, they're too scared to do this. But so you can't, here's the deal. You can't expect success if you're not willing to make the necessary steps. A lot of people are like, well, I want to hang out with all my old friends, but I also want this. And it doesn't work that way. That's called living incongruently, and you always be frustrated. And let me tell you this too, because now it's different for me now that I'm married. The most important decision you can ever make is who you choose to spend the rest of your life with, period. And who you surround yourself with on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. There is nothing that makes a bigger difference. And we're going to hit home on this because it's not easy. There's some tough decisions you have to make. And Austin has some stories, and as well as I do, of us throughout the last 5 or 10 years of our life, actually making these tough decisions of who to cut out of your life. And it's tough in the moment sometimes, but the feeling you get after, not just feeling of free and fulfillment, but also the results you get, is extraordinary. And I saw your business and your happiness and your mindset go to a whole new stratosphere, Austin, when you did this a while back. I saw it firsthand.
And guys, like even Peter and I have to do this nowadays, right? Yes, like this was like the major turning point for me, is the first time that after I evaluated my environment, the people that I was spending my time with, and I cut them out. I remember like it was yesterday. It was New Year's Day. So we had gone out New Year's Eve and there was just drama and I was just like over it. I wanted to make over $1 million in the next 12 months. My friends were averaging about 30-something thousand dollars and they were happy with that. And again, money's not the most important thing. It was just we were headed on totally different paths and they were negative and kind of holding me back from my goals. So I brought them over. I sat them down on my couch and I said very simply, guys, we're headed in different directions. And I just can't spend any more time with you. It was short. It was painful. It sucked. But as soon as they walked out the door, I had this insane weight off my shoulders. Yep. So the tough decision is something that you're going to have to make. Sometimes it's family members. You're not going to cut them out of your life. Maybe you're just going to reduce the amount of time. Maybe you're just going to have a very clear conversation with them. Maybe you're going to cut out your best friend of your entire life. Maybe you're going to have to get your spouse on board and have a really difficult conversation, talk about your guys' visions and make sure that they're lined up. The tough decision and having just the ability to have difficult decisions in general is one of the biggest factors of success. And Peter's talking about even earlier this year. So the first time I had this conversation, I was like, it was probably 5, 6, 7 years ago. And even this year, I had to have that conversation. I was in a relationship where somebody was just negative every single day. And it was having such a big impact on my life and my happiness and my ability to perform and do everything that I really wanted to do. And I had to sit her down and have that tough conversation. And it sucked. But literally, guys, afterwards, it takes minutes until you feel the results. Minutes. Not days or weeks or months or years. It takes minutes until you feel like a new person. It all starts with your environment.
100%. I mean, and here's what I've noticed, and it's happened to me multiple times. the right people, if they're actually into growth and they actually really value friendship, the right people actually want to go along. They're like, you're right, Austin. I do want to change. Exactly. I'm going to support you. I want to go with you. And if anyone ever gets mad, they're the wrong person and they're going to eventually hate on you anyways. So that's what you have to realize. The right people will actually be excited for you and you're going to gain respect regardless, because it takes some courage to be like, I'm heading in a different direction. I want to be proud of my life. I want to have an impact. I never want to ever think about, oh, how much does this flight cost? I don't know if we can get this extra wine at the restaurant. I never want to think like that. So a lot of friends will be like, oh, you're right. I want to go with you. So that will happen too to the real people that genuinely appreciate your friendship. So keep that in mind. And one of my favorite quotes of all time, as your vision gets bigger, the inner circle around you gets smaller. It's just a 100% fact of life. There's just nothing else to it. As the vision gets bigger, as you start to grow your mindset, as you start to invest in yourself, as you start to elevate your network, the circle gets smaller. And actually, it's a lot more, it's exciting and it's a lot more fulfilling to be around a small amount of loyal, genuine entrepreneurs or people that are game changers than a bunch of people that are all over the place. So
this is scary for people too, right? Is to think about like pleasing less people or focusing on less, because we all just naturally, we want to make everybody happy, or we like this person for that reason and that person for that reason, whatever, and we want to grow it. No, realize that as you get like a bigger vision and get some more momentum, your true inner circle is going to get smaller and smaller, and it's going to get tighter and tighter, and your happiness and freedom and everything else is going to go up. It's a tough transition, but trust me, it's a game changer.
100%.
Okay, number 2.
So peers. Business network, people you're around, like at your job, whether you're on corporate or if you're an entrepreneur, the people you're around that work with you, right? And we both had positive and negative of this, but that's important too. If you're spending a majority of your time working and grinding, and whether you are in a 9-to-5, whether you're in your own business, you have your support system, which is friends and family. Now you have your peers that you work with. Yep. You need to make sure they're positive, they're reaching for new heights, they're ambitious, because if not, you could have an amazing support system and a negative peer group in your work, and it crosses them out. So you're not going to get to where you want to go. Exactly. So that's why I think this is important.
How many people have like those like-minded peers around them? How many people have those people that they can bounce ideas off of as they're going in the journey? Like entrepreneurship is tough, right? Why would you try to do it on your own, right? Finding those like-minded peers. And the cool thing is with the online world is you can find so many people that are like-minded, same ambitions, same goals. I used to think that I was the most motivated person in the world. I used to think that I was this, that, and the other. And then I started to find some right peers, and I realized, gosh, there's literally hundreds of thousands of people just like me out there. I just need to find and connect with them.
Yep. And there's a lot of people that feel exactly how you guys feel. Like that feeling of like, you have this nagging pull inside you that you want to make an impact, or you have this message you want to get out there, or you want to write a book, or you want to travel and inspire people. You just light up when you help somebody. Normal people that are not pushing their limits and pushing their capacity, they don't think like that. They're like, I just got to survive. How am I going to make my next paycheck? Those are the worst people to be around because it subconsciously affects your mindset. That's why step 4, which actually I believe is the most important, and there's no specific order of these guys, but you got to have a mastermind network. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. A mastermind network is people that challenge you, level you up, make you think bigger, hold you to super high standards. I'll tell you a simple 30-second story that shaped the direction of my life. And this is after I became a little successful. I'm young, I'm 23. I finally make 6 figures, I have 6 figures saved in the bank. So I have $100-something thousand in the bank saved. This is more than most people my age. And by the way, guys, this is how fast things can change in this new economy. The time of getting wealthy when you're 40 and 50 and 60 and you have to wait 40 years, that died like 15, 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Anyways, so I hire a mentor, finally have the money to hire a mentor. Mentors aren't cheap. You think personal growth is expensive? Try mediocrity of regret. There's the expensive one. Right. So finally, I saw everyone around me, Austin. I saw them like investing in mentors, and they spent like 10% of their income on like personal growth. So I'm like, well, if they're doing it and they're making $500,000, I need to do it. So I hired a mentor, and I was starting to get a little bit complacent and lethargic. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm 23. I got 120 something grand. dude, I'm good for a little bit. I'm just going to chill. And my mentor, Jordan Weirs at the time, said, Peter, that's no money. That's not much money. I made $1 million when I was 21. And I'm like, oh, hold on. So I'm proud of having $100,000 in my account at 23. He made $1 million when he was 21, and he goes, that's not much money. That'll go quick. You need to double down and get more focused. If he did not say that to me, and I didn't have him as a mentor, there is 0% chance I'd be where I am today. Not just net worth wise, but mindset wise, hunger wise. So that's just one random mentor I had, and that's one instance. But he just totally shifted my thinking from thinking I was on top of the world to realizing that that's not much money, especially in this new economy. So that was just one thing. And there's a ton of stories like that, but you got to have a mastermind network of people that challenge you. And then you can talk about this too, because you're huge on networking, like to bounce ideas off and all kinds of stuff you can do with networking.
Get valuable feedback on what you're doing. Again, Peter shared his first major challenge, which was the same for me and a lot of people, is trying to do it yourself. Right? Imagine if you could learn from others' experiences, share strategies, tips, and tricks, get that feedback, bounce ideas, have that accountability, have that support, and just feel like you found your people. You can do that with the mastermind network. And here's the thing is, we said this at the beginning, everybody that has $1 million network, or now, Peter, our networks are going towards that $1 billion mark eventually, right? It started at 0. And that's a true fact. But nowadays, Peter, you're connected to Gary Vee, Ty Lopez, Ryan Blair, Gerard, Lewis, Les. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. I don't care if you're from Ohio like I am. I don't care if you're from Oregon like Peter is, or overseas. It doesn't matter. You can connect with amazing people all throughout the world. You can connect with influencers. You can connect with celebrities. You can connect, most importantly, with those like-minded peers all throughout the world and find your tribe.
I mean, there's nothing more important, like I said, and you guys have to understand and conceptualize that, like he just said, everyone that has an amazing network once didn't.
Yep.
I think it's 79 or 80 something percent of self-made, millionaires are self-made. I'm not talking about the 5, 10, 15% that like have an inheritance, but 100% of the people that are self-made once had no money. So you have to understand that. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty decent speaker, and I've spoken in front of thousands of people. I was once scared to speak in front of 3.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that to really, instead of saying, oh, I can't do that, instead saying, how can I do that? And this is just cutting your learning curve in half. But I think too many people kind of they count themselves out, Austin, right away. It's like, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Trust me. There's me and Grant. People didn't know Grant was, I think he's like 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah.
I thought he was like 6'1". I'm like, nope. He talks like he's 6'1", but he's 5'9". And I'm speaking with Eric Thomas, hanging out with him this weekend. So it's like, it's cool to get a network like this that really challenges you. And I want the same for you guys. So let's review a little bit. So 3 pieces of $1 million network: support, peers, mentorship, mastermind community. And if you think about this, one of the things I said at the beginning, Austin, is it's the best time in human history to succeed, yet 95% of people fail. This is one of the reasons. If you think about most people's support, peers, and mentorship, they have no mastermind community. They don't invest in themselves. Their peers don't support their vision, and they don't have support at home. Exactly. I mean, there's one of the game changers. So step 5, choose a mentor. I mean, I've had a mentor since I was 22, 23, and I've never not had a mentor. I mean, Michael Jordan has a mentor. You know what I mean? LeBron has a coach and mentor. There was my wife plays some poker, kind of funny. And there's a poker player named Daniel Negreanu. He's the #1. I just thought about this yesterday, random, but it just serves a purpose. He's #1 all time in the money list of making money. He's made millions. And he just posted something about he's hired a mentor. I'm like, hold on. He's #1 all time. What do you mean? He hires a mentor to go even higher. I'm like, wait, where can you go? You're #1. And then we have people in a society that are struggling. They don't even have mentors. And #1 in the world has a mentor. So it's like, it's not rocket science choosing a mentor. So what's the best way for them to choose one, Austin?
Here's the key word of all this right here is choose. Okay. It's not find a mentor as much as it is choose. For most of you, that mentor is already somebody that you know, or it's already somebody that you follow, or it's already somebody in your local community, right? most of my mentors have come from people that I've already been exposed to in some way, shape, or form. And I just chose that they were going to be my mentor. I gave value to them. I connected with them. I built rapport with them, and ultimately had them guide me to their success. And here's the thing about mentorship. So I want to make sure that you guys find people that have the same values as you, right? There's so many people, especially online, that don't necessarily have the right values that match up with what most people really want, which is having that time freedom and having a great family life and having a successful business all at once. But the key word that I want to pull out here is the choose. All right. Take some time after this training to figure out who you're following right now or who you're connected with that you just really vibe with.
They might already have a mentor. They don't even know it.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not leveraging it in the right way.
100%. So this is something that Jordan taught me back in the day. He said a smart person learns from their mistakes, as most successful people do. But those wanting like elite results learn from other people's mistakes so they can shorten their learning curve and not waste as much time making the same ones, which is why I commend you for being on this webinar right now. And let me say something too to Austin's point. What he means by be selective and choose is people are giving too much respect and credit out there. They're following anyone that's successful, but if that successful person is not aligned with your values, you will live incongruently and be confused why you're not happy. So for example, I don't say names, but I'm not going to follow somebody that is 40, 50, 60 years old that works 60, 70, 80, 90 hours a week and talks about the hustle all the time. I'm not going to follow that because when I'm 40, 50, 60, I want to do things on my terms and coach my kids' basketball team and not work 80 hours. So why would I follow someone that's like hustle, grind, I'm working 100 hours. I don't care about that.
All right.
So if I follow them, I'm going to be like, oh, I need to work more. It's like, no, I want to set up a lifestyle I don't want to escape from. And I want to be traveling and do what I want. So it's just people follow anybody, Austin. And that's why I want to get this point across. Don't follow anybody. Choose people that have a lifestyle that exactly you want to emulate. That's what you got to do.
And we talked a little bit about the power of a mentor, just getting that guidance, having that clarity so that you don't have to figure it all out yourself. A good mentor is not afraid to call you out on your BS. Peter and I have this happen all the time, which is great. And it has you thinking way bigger. Peter shared the story earlier of how Jordan laughed at your 120 something K. And now you would laugh at that 120 something K as well, right? And they help 100%. You with big strategic decisions to ultimately shortcut your learning curve and take years. But you mentioned this a little bit, Peter, and it's just so important. Find the right people to follow, and most importantly, start taking less opinion. Talk about this a little bit.
Yep. So be very, very selective with who you take opinions from, and only take advice from people that you would trade places with, and that match your values, that are world-class in every area, and that you feel are people that you really, really can vibe with and align with. You want to align yourself with people who align with you.
Yep.
Right. That's a huge key. And one of the biggest, and I'll tell you right now, straight up, when I first was struggling and I finally started talking to some successful people, most people said, and I'll be very blunt here, they said, invest in yourself, read, study, read a book a day, watch every YouTube video you can do. And I was like, okay, I'm doing it. I'm excited. Then I got overwhelmed. And when you're overwhelmed, you seek distraction. So I didn't feel like it was fair. I felt like I was jaded when people are always like, and people still talk about this. And I get so mad at them because they're always like, just invest in yourself and study every book and listen to every podcast. That's actually the worst thing you could ever do. So for me, I started thinking about what made me separated from everyone else and how I succeeded quicker was because I focused on mastery versus overload. And here's the key. You want to figure out what your ideal outcome is and figure out your goals and only study things that are relevant to that. Make sure it's the best possible information. And then don't move on till you've executed. I think there's this grass is greener mentality, Austin, where people are studying and they feel productive for studying and reading books. Then they're like, okay, instead of taking action, they trick themselves in thinking they need a bunch more information.
Yep.
No, you don't. You need to execute what you've already learned so you're not a know-it-all that doesn't have results. Yep. You're a learn-it-all and an executor that's crushing it. So that was a big game changer for me, was having a mastery focus and not reading like 100 books in a year, but mastering like 5 or 10.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's a big key for finding mentorship and for information too. That's why we want to give this webinar where it's just simplified information where you guys could leave with action steps.
Yep, exactly. So that's it. We talked a little bit about the power, and for short, Circle of Influence stands for COI. So you'll see us talk about that day in and day out. Why? Because it impacts every single area of your life, your health, your wealth, your happiness, your confidence, your bank account, right? Your momentum, your direction, every single thing. Figure out something that your circle of influence doesn't impact, and I would love to hear from you.
Right? It's everything.
It's everything. Cool.
I would challenge anyone on that. So, we could put 100 things in this slide right there. And for me, and you looked at the goals, you're diving deep, but we've gotten in the last probably 3 years, Austin, how many emails and messages do you think our company has gotten in a whole, sharing their goals with us? I mean, I think it's over 1,000.
Oh, are you kidding me? It's way more than that. Yeah.
And these are the top two. Go ahead.
Yeah, these are the top two. So we really like to communicate with you guys, survey you guys, ask you a lot of questions, understand what's going on day in and day out. And at the end of the day, it comes down to two really good things. And the top goals that come up again and again, once we really break out all the BS and break out the stuff that you're really, you say and go one level deeper, we're really figuring out that simply, guys, you want to make more money in less time. Why? So you can do it on your terms. So you can have that lifestyle. So you can have freedom, right? So you can have control.
Remember, this was the goals, guys, because they wanted freedom. I want to get that. Yeah,
exactly. So we could have easily put on a presentation here to talk about how you can make more money and like just filled it up. But we want to take the real angle, which is the underlying thing, which is your circle of influence. But now we're going to talk specifically about a strategy that you can make more money in less time. And of course, it includes your COI. So this is the 6X strategy to make more money in less time. This is not spammy because, again, we could have marketed this and brought a lot more people in, but we want the right people in who understand the power of a network and how it leads to everything else. Now let's talk about what it's done. So Peter, your first failure was that you just tried to do it all yourself, right? But now you're a master of not doing that. Talk a little bit about your transition.
I'm almost the exact opposite now. Yeah. I'm only doing things that are my strengths, that I like doing, that I feel like I'm a genius at, or I feel like I put a lot of work into. But like he said, if we marketed more income in less time, we're going to get all these people that just focus on money. We know you guys are deeper than that, and you want to do it the right way. So for me, first, when I was trying to do it all myself, I was stressed. It took me a lot more time. And of course, like I talked about, I got worse results. But I had to figure out what was important to me. And I did not want to work. I didn't want $1 million, but then work 80 hours. So I had to learn how to delegate, which we'll get into. But for me, Austin, my biggest breakthrough was realizing I wanted to live life on my terms. And I wanted to work and make a lot of money and impact people, but I wanted to inspire people, and I wanted to practice what I preached, and I wanted to live a world-class lifestyle.
Yep.
That was the biggest thing that drove me. And if you can never in a million years build a world-class lifestyle if you do everything yourself. So it's cool that you made this slide. I appreciate you making this. This is awesome to see this. Kayla liked it too. The reality is this is what I'm most proud of. And I know people with $700 million. I've hung out with them and they're miserable.
Yeah.
So this is what you have to focus on, is making sure that you have a lifestyle you're proud of and you're building a business around your lifestyle and priority, not building a lifestyle around your business. So this is what drove me, Austin, to switch my game up and say, you know what, I can't be working 80 hours a week if I want to travel and build genuine relationships and go to Cancun and travel to Tulum and go to Dubai and Tokyo and everywhere else and maybe fly private like I have. I couldn't do that if I did everything myself. So let's dive into the tactics. I'm excited. I'm getting fired up.
Yeah, so this is good.
Number one, it's obvious, create $1 million network, right? Start improving your network right now. Join a mastermind community, lower your maintenance friends, increase your growth friends. Literally be strategic in who is around you at all times. You might have to move. You might have to frustrate some people in the moment, but it pays dividends years down the road, and it'll save you thousands of hours of frustration and headache.
And start right? that today.
Yeah, not tomorrow, like today.
Yep.
Second, reverse engineer what works. So what you want to succeed in has already been done.
Yep.
Right. And if it hasn't, there's patterns that you can follow. All I did was I reverse engineered what was working in the industry that I wanted to be in. And I studied the top people and I saw what they did. And sometimes I made things better, but most of the time I did the same systems they did and it worked. And you're great at this, Austin, too.
Yep. There's no reason to refigure out all this stuff. There's no reason to recreate the wheel, right? Reverse engineer what works, and that's going to get you enough momentum so that then you can create and pivot and do your own path, right? But start with what works. And
it'll cut your learning curve in half. If you work backwards and you go, okay, this is exactly where this person is. He's making 50 grand a month residually on his own terms. He's impacting 1 million people a month. Wow, I'm going to do exactly what he did. Let me interview him. Let me ask him questions. Reverse engineer. Like, start with the end in mind. What is your ideal outcome in the next 6 months? If I ask 100 entrepreneurs, Austin, what's your ideal outcome in the next 6 months? 95 out of 100 go, oh, I want to make more money. And they're so vague. They actually don't know what their ideal outcome is. They don't know how much they want to work. They don't know what their marketing system looks like. They don't know how involved they are in the business, how big their team is. And if you don't know where you're going, you're going to end up somewhere else. Think about this, guys. A genius without a roadmap will get lost in any country. But an average person with a roadmap will find their way to any destination. So reverse engineering is having a roadmap that you can follow so you're not so random in your actions and you're more intentional and strategic. So that's why you have to reverse engineer, because it's starting with the end in mind. And here's a key. Base your end in mind. Base your vision off of your potential and what's possible, not your past or insecurities. Most people, what's your goal for 6 months? Oh, I want to make 30K. Where the hell does that come from?
It comes from your past.
I know someone that made that this morning. You know what I mean? It's like, where does that come from? So don't base it off your past or your family or where you're from. If Austin based his income next year off of being in Ohio with a bunch of cows that he grew up with, I'm just kidding. But you grew up in a country town. Then what would your goal be? What would your goal be next year, Austin, if you stayed in your hometown and you didn't elevate your network? Probably what?
No, here's the deal. I remember even in college, like getting ready to graduate, like my big goal was to make 6 figures. Like if I passed 100K, I was doing it. Wow. I was doing it. And right now, like if we don't make 100K in a week, like I'm pretty pissed off, right? And it's just like totally changed my mindset for sure. But
and it's not the money, it's the progress. Progress. Yeah. I love it. So optimize your positioning. If you want to know what separates the Tony Robbins, the Gary V's, the Elon Musk's, the best in the business, it's because they optimize their positioning, which means they don't have to chase clients all the time. Clients come to them because they're known as a leading authority. So Austin's been really good. We actually have a training on this too. We don't need to go deep dive, but what's the importance of positioning for our business, Austin, and for the people that we've worked with, like the Brian Tracy's and some of these legends?
Well, most people come to me and they're like, okay, I just need traffic. I just need marketing. I just need this. And before you start to spend a lot of effort or money and driving more traffic or getting more exposure, you got to make sure that you're going to convert. And you've got to make sure that once people see your brand or see your message or see you or see whatever you're ultimately offering, that it's positioned in the right way. It's a busy world. So we have literally a split second to convince people that they're in the right spot. So I've worked with hundreds of authors and influencers now, and it doesn't matter if the person was a New York Times bestselling author, if the person was just starting out and literally didn't have a website or anything up. The first thing that I always started with every single time was their positioning. How are they positioned? Are they the go-to authority? If not, we need to go a level deeper and really make sure that they are positioned in the right way. And Peter, we talk about positioning versus prospecting, but we're not going to go into that right now. But positioning is one of those most important things that you can do right now, here today, and prove that. And you're going to prove everything else that happens. You're going to make your sales so much easier.
My last 6 or 7 speeches, I haven't marketed 1 ounce. They've all reached out to me. Partnership speeches, everyone reaches out to me, whether it's from my Instagram, whether it's from my YouTube, whether it's from a connection I have. Grant Cardone recommended me, thank you, Grant, to a speech.
Why?
That he couldn't do because he was in my network.
Well, that, number one, but number 2, because you have the right positioning, right?
100%.
Exactly.
So you guys, when you have positioning, you don't need to chase clients, right? And you have leverage.
It's an amazing place to be in. So many people are desperate for those clients and whatnot, and the world can tell that. right? But when you're in a position of authority and you've got those opportunities come to you, I can tell you it's very obviously a heck of a lot better position to be in. No pun intended. Next.
100%. Take control of your calendar. Either you run your days or your days run you. Tim Ferriss taught me something. He's the author of 4-Hour Workweek. And talking about leveling up, and once again, much respect to Tim. He promoted me to his list and to all the people like talking about 6 months, 6 figures, which it's like, it's so crazy that people are doing that with our brand, Austin. Yep. We've just been consistently adding value and doing the right thing. But anyways, he goes, you know what really took me to the next level? And I'm curious. And he said, and he goes, you have to be okay with not responding to people and with saying no. I'm like, wait, what do you mean I have to respond to everybody? I can't say no. And he goes, once you learn to say no more than you say yes, and you take full control of your, calendar, he goes, you will not believe how much more you get done and how much more respect you have from people. So, I mean, that's all I can say on this is just take control. Say no to things that are not aligned with your values and your vision. I know you want to help people and please people, but you're not going to be able to build an extraordinary life if you're pleasing other people. You have to please yourself first and get results first. So just take control of your agenda.
Yep.
Period.
Number 5.
You talk about this one.
Ship quicker and get feedback. Guys, as I already shared, we are addicted to feedback. Why? Because your audience has all the answers. Get out of your head. Like most people are trying to figure it all out themselves, when in reality, all they can do is talk to a couple people that are in their target audience and they'll tell them what actually matters. Don't be afraid to get stuff out there even before it's ready. If you go and listen to one of my first podcasts, if you go and watch one of my first videos, you are going to absolutely cringe. And I'm so proud of that because I shipped way before I was ready. I got that feedback and ultimately improved, and ultimately got to the point where I've made millions of dollars over the past couple of years by implementing and just moving. Facebook, their motto for the first few years was move fast and break things. Like they were shipping quick and they were getting feedback, shipping quick and getting feedback. It kind of worked out for them, right? You can take that same approach.
I think perfection has cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars the last couple years. I'm not joking. I think perfection is maybe even $1 million. Yeah, but exactly. You want experiments, not perfection. Yeah. Hal Elrod, my boy, says, give up the need for perfection to be authentic. So he's like, I'd rather be authentic than be perfect. And I'm like, that's such a good key. But people just wait for the website to be perfect, the title to be perfect, the program to be perfect. Don't do that.
That was
Get feedback. Customers are marketing geniuses. If you just ask your customers what they want. We created a program a couple of years, like a productivity program a while back. I don't know if I should bring this up, but I'm going to anyways. And we just asked our list. We said, what do you guys need? What's the biggest thing you need help with? We created it. We go, hey, we created exactly what you said you wanted, and we sold out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like so simple, right? People just overcomplicate things. So ship quicker, get feedback, and stop focusing. If you're a perfectionist, you have to really get over that.
You're going to get passed by.
Yep. Yeah. Focus on the right activities. There's, like you say, Austin, there's always a ton of things you could do, but a very few amount of things that you should do that are the biggest ROI. And if you have 10 things you're doing, literally 2 or 3 of those things are producing 80% of the results anyways. Most people focus on the wrong things. And most people are talking about, oh, it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. Nah, it's about working right. There's 4,000 ways to get to the end result of something. There is. There's a lot of ways to get to the end result. There's one optimal way. And because I value my time so much, and because I value experiences and being able to do what I want on my terms, I had to figure out the right opportunities and the right way to do things to where I didn't waste time because I value time. Sometimes you have to tell yourself, I will be disciplined instead of working all the time. If you want to get to 7 figures, it's not about time anymore. It's about outcomes and results. Yep. Right. So keep that in mind as well. So, I mean, the key to productivity is working on the right things that you know are connected to a purpose and a value that you've defined as important to you. You know what I mean?
Most people spend way too little time on income producing activities. All right. If we just help you double the amount of time that you spend on things that are going to actually move the needle, guess what? Your results are going to more than double. because it's a little compound effect. But these are things such as positioning yourself in the right way, right? We talked about the importance of this so people come to you, so that you make your sales conversions much higher, so that you make everything else much easier. It's actually a income producing activity to dial in your positioning. Number two is networking, looking for strategic partnerships, looking for connections, looking for ways that you can grow strategically. Networking is one of those things that you necessarily won't feel right now here today in your bank account, but look at it 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 3 years from now, and this will actually be the best sign of your ultimate long-term success. Of course, marketing and different strategies that we implement in sales. Like, most people spend so little time on marketing and sales, when at the end of the day, you're in business. Like, a business isn't a business unless you're doing marketing and sales, right? Like, if you're not bringing in money, it's a hobby. And most people have much closer to a hobby. How do I know that? Because I was that person. My first 9 months online, I made $2,200 in the total 9 months, not $2,200 a week or a day or a month, $2,200 total. It was illegal, the dollars per hour that I was earning there. It's like $1.57 per hour. Why? I wasn't focusing on any of these activities.
That's $60 a week you made. Great job.
Yeah, no, it was killer, man. It was going to afford my lifestyle that I really wanted.
Wow. But people can relate to that, because I've been the same way. I was working a lot, and when I broke down my hours, I'm like, wow, I'm making like $9 or $8 an hour. I thought I was making way more. And marketing too is big. I see a lot of people, Austin, that they're focused so much on the doing, on the creating, on the actual product, and not on the marketing. The marketing is what you should focus 70-80% of your time on, because getting it out there. I know people with perfect products that should be out there, but they don't sell any. No one knows them. I know people with crappy products that I feel like personally they're scamming people, but they're making millions.
Yep.
It's not fair. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's fair. That's just life. Whether it's fair or not. Sorry. The best thing you can do is learn how to market a quality product or service. That's the best thing you can do.
So let's get into something that is really a game changer, guys, to take all this from tactics and strategies and show you what actually can drive results with a real world example from one of our members, Mr. Josh Ryan. So get into it.
So, and I talk a lot about 15, 16, 17-year-olds. So we wanted to actually put one in here that you guys could reach out to if you wanted to and ask about his experience with us. But he's 17 years old, high school student from New Zealand. He had zero network. Not he had some connections. He had zero network, like no network. Didn't have any direction. He knew he wanted to make money online, right? And he actually started making money online. So he was making about $1,700 a month, which is, I mean, not bad for a 17-year-old kid, like doing things on his terms. But he wanted to 10X that. He wanted to take it to a whole new level. And he made $1,700 a month, but he was stuck at that amount, treading his wheels for a long time. And he said he started working more hours on top of school, and he still was making $1,700. So he was kind of at a roadblock. So we gave him the 6X strategy. Literally, we walked him through the 6X strategy to change his circle of influence. He learned from mentorship, because I've actually been through what he was going through. We improved his positioning at the highest level. He got feedback and he shipped, and then we helped him make sure he focused on the right actions. And I'm very excited that it went from $1,700 a month to $10,000. You know, I need to look up the message he sent me the other day. He wants to make like 50 or 100 grand a month now. I'm going to look it up while you talk about him, because you've worked with him too. But the point is, he went from, and he even said it was really, really hard to pay attention in school when he was making 5 times more than his teachers. Yep. You know what I mean? He's making $130,000 in a year, and his teachers are trying to tell him what to do. And he's like, dude, I'm making 10 grand a month right now. So he still is a respectable kid. He just graduated and is out of school now, which is why he's fired up. But this is what's possible if you actually follow the 6X strategy. You know what I mean? Yep. Time is not the problem. It's focus, priorities, and letting go of your old habits that's the problem.
Those simple action, guys. We shared each one of the simple steps that he took. People get overwhelmed by trying to do it all at once, but he just took it one piece at a time. He listened to us and he implemented, and this is the results that he had. This is a 17-year-old from New Zealand that was in high school that didn't exactly have a ton of time. And he bikes a lot, so he wasn't going to take that out. He wasn't working 100 hours a week. He was just doing it strategically, taking the proper steps and just blowing up his income. Pretty insane results. And the cool thing is, as you shared, Peter, he's only getting started. Let me
read his message from the other day. It's funny. Dude, I'm free, he says. School's over, no more exams. Time to put my 110% into my business. Already getting a plan in place and taking action. I want $50K a month by 12/31/2017. So he's ambitious.
20-something days.
Yeah, so that's pretty amazing. I might need to have him. I mean, he thinks big. We taught him that, but it's our job to help him get a plan. So it's just to have a kid like that thinking that big is inspiring to me. You know what I mean? There's 40-year-olds who don't think that big.
Yeah, if he can do it, this is proof that you can. I don't care if you're starting from zero or if you've already got a multiple six-figure business. We've got a full range of people on this. This is the strategy to go higher. This is the strategy that Peter and I are using to go higher and higher and higher, one step at a time.
Now, let me say this too, because I really want to hit this. If you're the type of person that's like, yeah, but what does he do? That is irrelevant. If you want it bad enough and you define what's important to you in life, your priorities, it doesn't matter if you want to do online business, do Instagram, you want to create a mentorship course, you want to speak, you want to do a course. It doesn't matter. It's not as important of what he did as he used the 6X strategy and he had an opportunity that had an upside. And there's thousands of those. So it's not about what he did exactly because there's 4 billion ways to make money online. The point is he used the strategy to go from 17 to 10,000. So he does some Instagram marketing and some other stuff online with Instagram, but that's not the right question. That's not as relevant because we know a lot of people that do it in different industries. So anyways, so lesson one, let's kind of recap. So you guys, we could simplify it. Your circle of influence is the #1 indicator of your success. If you add the income of the 5 people you spend the most time with and you divide it by 5, that's usually your income. Dead. It's like such accuracy. It's dead on.
It's scary.
Yep. Number 2, create your $1 million network now, not 2 weeks from now, with 3 pieces: support, peers, mentors. Doesn't matter what age you are or where you live. All those excuses are irrelevant now. If you become so good, people can't ignore you. Don't use excuses when Eminem had every single possible thing going against him, but now he's one of the top all time. I mean, there's no excuses left. Number 3, scale your income, earn more in less time by getting clarity, by knowing yourself, and by working right. A few activities will go a very long way if you stay the course. And the results of applying these strategies that we have 500-600 plus testimonials from this. So this is not something we guessed. More clarity, more confidence, more direction, faster business growth than ever before because of technology and leveraging these things we're talking about, and more income in less time, which equals more freedom and which equals more peace of mind as well. So I want to ask you a question, and please take this seriously because most people act one way but talk another way. They act like they don't want to succeed, but they talk like they're going to make millions of dollars, but their habits keep them broke. So do you want to succeed fast or slow? Right? Everybody says they want fast, but their actions show otherwise. Right? That's the thing. And I want to help you implement all these actions consistently so you can cut your learning curve in half, not waste as much money and energy making the same mistakes as I did, as Austin did, and as a lot of people do. Like, I want to help you gain massive clarity. Like people said on the chat, my issue is I don't have clarity. There's no limitations. What is the ideal industry you want to be in? What's ideal for you? We will help you get your ideal outcome and create and design your opportunity. You don't need to join a company. You can create your own, right? And this is so you can create your dream network, gain clarity and confidence. There's nothing more valuable than walking through your day with massive, bulletproof confidence. Nothing will affect my state of mind ever again. Nothing will affect my state of mind because who I've became from going through my struggles. And then you're going to start seeing real results. When I say real results, I mean tangible results where you're going to see your bank account go up and feel your clarity go up and feel your peace of mind go up, right? So I'm excited. Me and Austin are both excited because we don't talk about this much, hardly ever. The last time we talked about this was a couple, 5-6 months ago. I want to introduce you to the Game Changers Academy. Now, real quick, there's already some game changers that are so dedicated to growth and they know this is going to be valuable that they're on here. So they're already on here. So if you're on the Academy, let people know how you like it. And by the way, guys, we're not selling nothing right now. This is exclusive. So I'll have Austin kind of walk through this with me, but this is an elite mastermind program and community for ambitious entrepreneurs. And this is going to help you create a life and a business on your terms, a proven step-by-step system focused on deepening your network, maximizing your profits, and elevating your game now, not next month, not 6 months from now, right now. And after working with 6,000 plus entrepreneurs, this has been updated. It's over 7,000 now. We've created based on 12, 15 years times 2 with you two, based on 30 years of experience, we've created the complete system you need. So here's what you're going to get: a deep dive training system, right? 100% based on experience and proven results. This is the game changer. Exclusive mastermind network of over 750 game changers all over the world. And this is what I feel like has made the biggest difference in people's successes. And when you see a ton of these testimonials, it's because of the networking on top of the tactics. You get live mastermind calls that are mastery focused. You get elite mentorship, not just from me and Austin, not just from our boy Mark Lack, but from Gary Vee and Tim Ferriss and Ryan Blair. My network and my Rolodex is now your Rolodex. So all my connections and resources and experiences are now working for you and your business. Ariana Huffington, who's worth $50 million, Marie Forleo, Eric Thomas, Ty Lopez, Robert Kiyosaki, Brian Tracy, Tony Horton, Tim Sykes. These people have access. I mean, they have access to millions and millions of dollars of knowledge and wisdom, and you get that. And it's been tested and proven by thousands and thousands of game changers. So here, and it's been in Forbes. I really, to be honest, Austin, I don't want to sell it much. I just want to be matter of fact. It's been in Forbes. We were in Entrepreneur Magazine three or four issues in a row. We were in Success Magazine last month, Inc., Yahoo, Time, Huffington Post, Entrepreneur, I mean, a lot of places. Why do we have 500 plus testimonials and more coming in daily? Here's why. We want to share with you guys why that it's so exclusive, but why we have such results. We're selective and we keep it exclusive. Not everybody can join. We've had people that want to pay that they just weren't the right fit. But we want to make sure we have the right people. And if you're on this webinar, you possibly could be the right person. Everything's focused on mastery, not overload. It's very actionable. It's very updated. I redid this has been going on 5 or 6 years strong. I redid all the content a year ago, and we're consistently updating to make sure it's as relevant, new, and tactical as possible. So there's no training this comprehensive out in the world. 100% based on experience, proven results. Me and Austin don't read something in a magazine and say, oh, let's teach this. We only teach things we've actually gotten real results with. You get live interaction from the world's most influential people on the planet, accountability to help you stay on track and increase your results. And we have 4 different levels of the academy based on where you're at in your business and what stage you're at. So there's 50 things that make us different, but there's 4 levels based on where you're at. We're not some academy or mastermind where it's like, come on in and it's one size fits all. And we just do it and then we leave. We're very engaged. This is my number one focus in life is this academy. Everything's focused on what's best for you based on where you are in your life and business. So I'm excited to invite you to apply to join over 750 ambitious entrepreneurs in the academy today. Austin, go ahead and take it over. Obviously, not only have you helped me grow this, you've actually learned. I mean, you're already at 7 figures and you learn stuff from it too. We both do.
This is everything. Yeah. Guys, we've been a part, we've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars and we figured out what works and what doesn't. You could go and just get the training somewhere else and just have that piece. And people are like, watch these videos and good luck. No, we're there to guide you. We're there to support you. We have the community that's there to support you. We've got the live and frequent calls, and you're learning from today's biggest influencers. Imagine just learning from Gary Vee directly. Imagine just learning from Robert Kiyosaki directly. Imagine just having Grant Cardone there that you can ask questions to and get applicable answers to your situation. All it takes is one idea, one connection, one big mindset shift, one big partnership that your entire life just totally transforms. When you talk about finding those like-minded people, this is your like-minded people if you're an ambitious entrepreneur that wants to live life on your terms. Very simply, if that's you, we're inviting you to apply. We're not selling anything here because we want to make sure that we keep this exclusive, that we only bring and offer in the right people. So go to gamechangersmovement.com/yes. I'm going to pull up the pop-up here. Again, we've got real game changers here that are in the academy that are true game changers from all throughout the world. So they're commenting here amazing things about the academy. And what we're going to do, we're going to share you some of their results, real people all throughout the world. gamechangersmovement.com/yes.
And here's the crazy thing. It was already, I feel, I'm biased obviously, but I feel it's the best academy on the planet. We've had hundreds of people say, I've joined this academy. I've been in here and here and here. This is the most tactical, the most comprehensive. I feel like it's a family. And what's crazy is it just got better.
Yep.
we've been spending the last 6 months to a year, probably the last 5 or 6 months, to be honest, revamping the academy and the resources to where we have customized deep dive training. If you need, I don't want to dive into exactly what else we added, but how to build a 6-figure dream team, a 3-part video series on how to position yourself as the expert, right? We've added a lot of different deep dive trainings, and we've added all the trainings you've created and some of the other ones I have, Austin, into the academy. So it's we wanted the all-in-one resource for entrepreneurs that are serious about becoming game changers and becoming the best in the world at what they do. So we want this to be where you don't need other personal growth. You don't need 5 other mentors. You don't need to read 10 books. You now have every single resource you need and the exact roadmap to become the best in the world at what you do, period.
And we talked about this, Peter, as we're ending 2017, getting ready to kick off 2018. And as Peter talked about, 2018 is already underway. And we really take this very, very seriously to have people get this information, to get this community, to get this backing and direction right now so that you can hit January 1st with some insane momentum. So what we're doing is a special limited time offer. This is something that we've never put together that we are sharing with you right here, right now, to encourage you to take action, to commend you for being here and spending your time with us, to commit yourself to being a better person, better entrepreneur, and ultimately taking one major step towards that dream lifestyle. So the special limited time offer is not only going to give you a big discount off of what we typically offer for the Game Changers Academy in the 4 different levels, but also we're combining over $3,000 in free additional bonuses. If this is something that we've talked about here today that's of interest to you, simply go to gamechangersmovement.com/yes, fill in the short application, and it's going to take just like 3 minutes to fill it in, and ultimately we'll see if you're a good fit. But real examples, real value, real results. Our mission is to create success stories, to have a movement, and we've got that underway. We want you to be our next big success story. So Peter, talk about a few of these examples here.
Yep. And it's not for, to be honest, it's not for everybody. If you feel like it's not for you and you maybe make sure it's not fear-based. If you have every resource you need and you're already satisfied with your results and everything, I don't want to force you to apply. You know what I mean? But if you feel like you have another level of success in you and you feel like you want to have, it's kind of like having a guaranteed way to have your best year ever next year. So even if you're slacking or cutting corners, we can still give you the roadmap and hold you accountable. So it's like, no matter what happens, you're guaranteeing your best year. So, we have a ton of testimonials. We took out a lot of these, to be honest. But in 2016, Jared, my business did $236,000 in revenue. So far in 2017, we just broke $250,000 in revenue and have essentially 8 months to go, counting all of May. Yeah. So it's like on pace to 3 or 4x his revenue, which is pretty amazing as well. Derek Rowe closed a deal this morning that'll pay him $35,000 in commission next month. The main reason I won the business is I taught the CEO how to take something pretty much what he's saying is something I taught in one of the modules at the beginning. He actually did it. That's what he's saying. Then he wrote something later. But I closed 2 more deals that will pay me another $55K in commissions next month. I think 95% of my yearly quota in 2.5 months after joining the Game Changers. Forget 6 months in 6 figures in 6 months. I just did it under 3 months. Time to city, 90,000 in commission.
Huge.
I always knew that I could achieve more. I'm not going to read all of them, but you guys get the picture. After the first 6 weeks in the academy, I've quit my job, published my first book, and I'm on track to replace my income in the next 6 weeks doing what I love. The key is doing what I love. I'm happier and healthier than I've ever been. You cannot put a price tag on peace of mind.
It's huge.
You cannot put a price tag on making your kid proud and looking your kid in the eyes and knowing that you're doing the best possible thing for him. There's no price tag. That's the thing. There's no price tag. Next, the most common struggles I get and I've seen in the last 10, 12 years with entrepreneurs, with people that are 18, 19, millennials, Gen Y, Gen Z, it doesn't matter. The common struggles, inconsistent income, no real guidance or proven strategy. There's a lot of strategies out there, but few proven ones. Lacking real confidence and certainty and no flexibility or freedom. And here's what we designed the academy in 2012 to maximize your income, not to make more money than anybody and then still work for somebody. It's to maximize your income on your terms with no regret. Follow a proven step-by-step roadmap, gain absolute clarity, develop an unshakable confidence, and achieve more autonomy and freedom than ever. So how much would this be worth to you? I don't even know if there's an answer, but how much would it be worth to you in the next 5 years, in the next 2 years, in your entire lifetime? Think about that. It's not really a logical question, but think about how much it'd be worth to you to put in a couple of months of hard work. It's sacrifice. It's not always easy, but if it's easy, you don't want it. Most people make the easy decision, and life is very, very, very tough. If you make easy decisions, life's tough. If you make tough decisions, life's eventually very easy. So imagine making some tough decisions and us kind of helping you craft your mindset and giving you a roadmap. And then in 6 months, you have no one telling you what to do. Waking up whenever you want, doing things on your terms, traveling, never looking at the price tag. I mean, that's priceless, I think. Maybe it's not priceless to some people, but I mean, I can't imagine someone telling me what to do or what I'm worth or telling me when I can see my kid or not see my kid.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's it. You have to figure out what it's worth to you to have freedom. But you can apply, guys, and check it out. I mean, it won't hurt to apply. And actually, we're going to connect with you and kind of help you. If you have any questions about the academy, we can answer. We can help you with your business. I mean, we're in it for people, period. We're in it to create game changers. There's only so much fulfillment you can get succeeding yourself. I mean, for me, it's like, if I was on the cover of Forbes tomorrow, yeah, yippee, I don't care. All I would think about is, oh, more people will see me so I can help more people. I get more fulfillment creating real game changers. I mean, people that are serious about success, not the ones that talk, but the serious ones. And I'll warn you, what'd you say? Sunday, right? Go ahead and go through this, Austin. Applications are good Sunday, then the promotion stops.
Yeah, until Monday at midnight. All right, okay. So you've got until Monday, and we're doing a special offer right here. Not only are we discounting the price, we're adding some special bonuses. A lot of you guys talked about, wanting to build some online influence. Well, we're going to give you a special training on that, but it's not about the information. It's about having this system that's all in one, from the training to the support network, to the like-minded peers and community, to the calls, to the mentorship, to the accountability, all in one. This is exactly what every single entrepreneur needs. Peter needs it. I need it. Guess what? Every single entrepreneur needs it. This is the opportunity for you to have that. So here's what to do next. Go to gamechangersmoot.com/yes. Fill in the 3-minute application. It takes just a couple minutes. We're going to review that application, schedule a strategy call, go through it with you, and ultimately see if you're a good fit. But like I said, imagine learning from these people. Imagine getting just one major aha, one major mindset shift like Peter shared that his mentor gave him. We've all had those, and all that you are, like, you're so close. You guys are here because you've got the motivation, you've got the potential. It makes Peter and I sick to see people not tap into that potential. All right. But learn from the best, learn from people that are 5 steps ahead of you, right? In some area of your life. Follow the proven roadmap and get that guidance, and you'll be on your way. Peter?
And I had to learn to I was having anxiety because I took people's success so personal. I had to learn to let go and chill out. Because the sad thing that I've experienced and I've seen is the people that, it's funny now because I've got over it, but the people that need this the most, Austin, probably won't even apply. That's the funny thing, sadly, right? And the people that are already successful will probably apply because they want to be more successful. But there's a reason why most people stay average, right? So you have 2 options. I mean, quite simply, you can try and figure everything out on your own, spend thousands of dollars and thousands of dollars and waste a ton of time trying to do it yourself, or you can get a proven roadmap and cut your learning curve in half and get to your goals a lot quicker and start making more money than ever, not for the sake of money, for the sake of freedom, peace of mind, and for just living a world-class lifestyle. Like, that's it. So if you're someone that wants to level up and really wants to elevate their game, I mean, there's nothing that will help you at a higher level. And sometimes people say, I don't have the money, I don't have the time. That's probably the #1 reason why you should actually apply, is so you never have those issues ever again. I don't know why you showed up today. You might be because you're sick of treading water, you're frustrated with your videos or podcasts or blogs are not making money. Maybe you're making money, but you're sick of trading time for money and you don't have any control of your schedule. And for me, I felt like my ambition and my intelligence wasn't matching my bank account, and that it was causing me to lose sleep. I wish for anything I had this academy growing up, but obviously I didn't.
Same here.
Or maybe you're bored. I don't know why you're here. But let's go through some more example. Kirk.
Kirk here, he's now in our inner circle. He's kind of leveled up from one level to the next, to the next, to the next. Look at this. Over $50,000 in residual income in just 2 months.
He's been in the academy for 2 years too. He's been crushing it.
Yeah, and he's only getting warmed up. Like him and I just talked. Actually, I got a meeting with him here in like 90 minutes or so. He's talking about this new idea that he's building, and his goal is to make it into 7, if not 8 figures within a very, very short time frame. So it's all about leveling up. Kirk's one of those people that has. Here's a
Hold on. Kirk's such a savage that he turned down this year a company paying him over $100,000 to do some work for the company. He knew he wanted to be with his wife and family. He knew that he was going to be a headache. So instead of saying, "Oh, it's more money," he's like, "I'm not doing it." He turned it down. That's like, I'm more proud of that than the money he's making.
Yep, exactly.
So, go ahead.
At the end of April, my team was ranked very bottom in my division, not almost the bottom. I'm talking dead last. By the end of June, we were ranked first in the division. That, my friends, is from last to first in just 2 months. These numbers and these real world case studies that you're seeing, guys, doesn't take 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 5 years. You're very close. All right. You're already showing that you have potential by being here. You're showing that you have the ambition. We'll give you just a couple tweaks and start to have you get some real results from last to first in 2 months. Here's another one, doubled sales in just 4 weeks from Anna there. Hugo, now our good friend, he said just closed 25K of business in 1 week, trying to hit my first 6-figure month now. 25K in 1 week. So proud of Hugo and what he's done. Here's one that's really, really exciting. This is from Jorge. Before working with Peter, we only had 2,000 users, and we were struggling with customer acquisition after one of the live calls. Remember, I talked about one connection, one idea, one big mindset shift. After one of the live calls with Peter, I took his advice and implemented a new strategy. Our results skyrocketed almost overnight. We went from 2,000 doctors to 45,000 and brought on 200,000 new users. His no BS straight shooter approach cut directly to the point and showed me exactly what to focus on.
Go back one slide.
Results.
Go back one slide. I want to look at the word. I took his advice and I implemented. Huge. Most people take advice and they just think about it and then they go back to doing nothing.
Yep.
He implemented the new strategy. So that's the key. He implemented. Keep going.
Yep. And to go back to that point, it's like a lot of people will go to a seminar and they'll be on this high and then they'll leave and they'll lose it just as quickly as they got it, right? The reason why we put together this system that we're talking about, where there's the support, the accountability, the frequent calls, because we want you to implement and keep that momentum going. All right. We're not talking about this all in one system and how it's important for no reason. We're talking about it because it's necessary. We don't even care. Like, we want you to come into the academy if you're a good fit, but regardless of what type of mastermind community you're looking for, make sure they have all 4 pieces, because you will not succeed at the same level without them. It's so important. He implemented it. We were there to support him and guide him, and boom, he was off to the races. 22.5 times the results in a short period. The only question, we've shared a couple stories. The only question remaining is, what's your story going to be? Where will you be 12 months from now, 6 months from now? At the end of 2018, what's your life look like, right? Those decisions that you make right now are going to ultimately answer that question. GameChangersMovement.com/yes. Peter?
I'm excited. I just looked at Caroline. I didn't even realize she was on here. Caroline, you're awesome. She said, I joined GCA when I had 19 in my account, $19.
Wow.
After the first call, obviously it paid for itself. One of the calls with Mel Robbins, I got such golden nuggets. It shifted how I approach my days, made me jump on profit-producing activities. And that day I made a massive difference almost immediately. And this is one, of so many people that have totally changed the game. And anything we do that even costs a penny, we make sure with every ounce of our body that it's 1,000 times the value that anyone pays. And what's cool is it's affordable for everybody because there's 4 different levels based on where you want to go. So it's kind of like a win-win, 0 risk. But once again, we can't, I can give someone Success Magazine. I can't make them read it. I can lead a horse to water. I can't make them drink it, right? We don't want success for you more than you want it for yourself. That's what you have to realize. We can't want it for you more than we want it for yourself. So let's kind of review what they get. They get the full Game Changer system. You get $1 million network like instantly, which is crazy. You get live mastermind calls. You get live elite millionaire mentor calls. You get access to me in Austin if you need help. And the result, here's what's crazy. People think I'm psycho for doing this. And the results are 100% guaranteed. So if you don't get results, then, there's a guarantee where you get your money back. Yep. Like it's like a win/win-win-win-win situation. And action takers, I've noticed, and I love doing this, action takers are always rewarded in life. People that take action, even without certainty of what's going to happen next. Entrepreneurship at its core is taking action without knowing for certain what's going to happen next. Most people want this certainty. That's why they go to a 9-to-5 job. But you have to ask yourself, if you're at a 9-to-5 job, how much did someone pay you to give up on your dreams? Think about that. If someone paid you to give up on your dreams, they better be paying you like $5 million freaking dollars. Yep. These people are giving up on their dreams for 35 grand. What? Like, think about that. That's why we want to guarantee these results, but let you know that nothing's guaranteed in life if you want to be an entrepreneur. You can guarantee a paycheck, but these days, with all these businesses going out of business by entrepreneurs putting them out of business, like nothing's certain. You have to create certainty by who you are and by your decision to make things happen. So the first 20 to apply, this was your idea, so good idea on this. The first 20 to apply, which I think might already be taken, sadly. Yeah. If you get accepted, you're going to get access to you can go through this because you created these, but this is amazing, by the way. So I would strongly recommend applying ASAP if you feel like you're serious.
Yep. So guys, this is a private business model validation workshop. It sounds like a mouthful, but here's the deal, is you are going to leave with 100% clarity on what you're going to do in 2018. So many people try to run fast real quick. And my first job is to make you stop and make sure that you're pointed in the right direction, to make sure that you've got the right strategy, to make sure that you've got the right business model. This one training that we're going to do, that's a private workshop that's only available. Like, this is something that usually we would only show our inner circle members. I'm going to share this with the first 20. And like you said, this is probably already taken. All right. If you guys have not applied yet, apply right now. So we're going to share with you the 7-figure business model, the 7-figure framework and strategy, and you're going to leave with 100% clarity, 100% confidence so that you can have more momentum, move faster than ever. Most people that I talk to do not have this. And thus, they're always doubting themselves. They're not moving as fast. They're afraid to take big steps or whatnot. If I can just teach you this and we can stop right there, this is going to be worth thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to you. And lastly, we're going to talk about how you can ultimately monetize that. Make sure that you actually have a business model that's going to hit your lifestyle goals, your income goals, and ultimately help you grow both of those things. So gamechangersmovement.com/yes. If you haven't applied already and you're still here, there's no question of if you're interested or if we can help you, right? It's just a matter of if you're committed to taking action. There's no risk for applying. gamechangersmovement.com/yes. Peter?
So the number one thing that holds most people back is they never, and by the way, I understand you guys. If you're skeptical, there's so much BS out there. I want you guys to know I understand. I do not blame you. That's what got me started to actually create real value, is because there's so much garbage and so much inspiration without real tactics that guide people. So if you're skeptical, I used to get mad. I don't blame you with all the crap out there. Yeah. But that's why we have so many things that guarantee your success and systems in place where it's impossible to fail. So the number one thing that holds most people back is they never, ever tell themselves that right now matters. They never say that. And they're always like, someday I'll be successful. Someday I'll level up. Someday I'll invest in myself. Not right now, though. Later. And then they're on this someday aisle with everybody around them that's also on someday aisle. And then they're 50, 60, 70, and they look in the mirror and they have massive regret. And they're like, wow, I should have told myself 20 years ago, now matters. But they're always waiting for someone else to give them permission. You don't need anyone else to give you permission. Give yourself permission to reach greatness. Yeah. And that's the number one thing I've seen hold people back. And that's when I look in people's eyes when they're 50 and 60 and they have regrets. I can't stand that. So that's why now matters more than ever. And you've seen this. If you didn't tell yourself now mattered, you'd still be at your corporate job hating your life.
Yep, exactly.
Being honest. And for me, I'd probably still be in a job that I hated. So you have to tell, when else are you going to do it? Now matters more than ever.
So guys, we're going to get into Q&A. We've got a lot of questions that have come in so far, but this is clear. The Academy is for you. If your bank account doesn't touch the level, if you're not fulfilling your potential like we talked about, if you need that clarity, or if you need a proven framework to follow, if you feel like your business is running you instead of you running your business, or you want more freedom, you want more flexibility, you want more control, this is it. So we're going to put some time on the clock here and get into your questions. And Peter, what I think that we should do since the business model validation training is so important, I think if people apply while we're on here live, we've gone, guys, we apologize for taking a little bit more of your time, but all this information is just so important if you apply it that we're fine with going overtime. We blocked off a couple hours here. So we really want to get into your questions. But like we talked about, this is the entire system that you need. And now if you apply while we're on here for the action takers, we're going to get into your business model and make sure that you've got a ton of clarity to start 2018 on fire and you can move as fast as possible. And I'm so pumped about that, but I'm really pumped about having everything here all in one. Again, this is exactly what I wish I had 10 years ago, let alone when I actually started my entrepreneurship journey about 6-7 years ago. All right. So very, very important stuff here. And let's get into some questions, right?
And I'll be honest. I hold back nothing. I'm getting too old to hold back anything. Austin's nicer than me when it comes to this. If you haven't applied yet, I probably wouldn't apply if I was, or figure out what's holding you back. Because if you haven't applied by now, after this, there's some deep issues of fear, or you're already making millions and you're just here to entertain yourself and you're bored. I don't know. But if you haven't applied, you really beyond applying, beyond ever doing anything with us. If you got value, I'm happy. But you should figure out in your head why you haven't invested in yourself before, or you haven't applied. Like, what fear is there that's holding you back? Because, I mean, this can really change the game for you at such a deep level that, and there's no risk. I just challenge you to kind of think about why. So yeah, let's do some questions. I'm excited.
Yeah. So first of all, congratulations to everybody that has applied. We're really, really excited to kind of check things out and make sure that we're ultimately getting on the phone with you to talk about your strategy and really make sure that the people that are serious and that are the right fit, that we're ultimately, going to hopefully welcome into the academy. But that's not most people. All right. Most people we're going to have to unfortunately turn away. And the reason why that's so important is because like we spend a lot of time with you guys. We want to make sure that we bring the right people in that ultimately have the same vision, the same ultimate goals. And that together makes the community so powerful. So congrats to Liz and everybody else. Ja says, so if you are 50 to 60, this isn't for you. Ja, we have people that are in their teenage years. We also have people that are over 60 years old
and
that
are
crushing it.
Carol's one of them.
Crushing it. And actually, I just got an email yesterday from one of our members that's over 60, and him and his wife started a business at their house, and they just got a big partnership where they were making this product in their kitchen that now they need this huge factory. He just quit his job, put in his resignation notice, and he's starting full time in 30 days. So anyhow, it doesn't matter. Age is irrelevant. Your location is irrelevant. We've got game changers from all throughout the world. All right. It doesn't really matter. It's about your goals, where you want to go, and finding those like-minded people.
And as long as you aren't stuck in your ways and stubborn, and you can't learn from like a 28-year-old or a 42-year-old, because people that we have that are older, they're very adaptive to learn from some millennials, right? So we do have millennials, we have 19, 18-year-olds, 17 Josh, and we also have 67-year-olds. It's just I want you to feel young at heart, but I also want you have to be ambitious and have some urgency. You know what I mean? And by the way, guys, obviously we'll give you reminders, but if you sign up, our team is very excited. They're going to mark that time off in their calendar. So, and I don't really need to say this because the right people usually do. The ones that don't show up usually, I mean, obviously they're not serious, but just make sure you show up and you're ready for the call as well, because they're going to give a lot of you. We only have people that you're going to connect with. And I'm going to do some, I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to do some calls too. I might surprise in there because I love talking to you guys. So you never know if you're going to get on the call with me. And I'm going to be very mad if I choose to get on a call and maybe it's with Liz and then she doesn't show up. I won't take it personal, but you know what I mean? So Boyd says, does the academy help me with building a roadmap for a business model, even though I don't have a business and a clear business idea? That's probably 30 to 40% of the people that apply. And and I'll be very blunt here. You probably won't need the top level, but there's a couple levels that are perfect for you that actually give you a program to walk through how to figure out your strengths, how to decide what industry to go in, how to monetize, how to gain clarity. There's a 15 or 14 page blueprint that's called Getting to Know Yourself that you could print out. So the answer is 100% yes.
Yep.
Like 100% yes.
Shanice says, can the call be done via Skype? Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure that you bring your big question, bring like where you're at, bring the big challenge, and we'll also, address that live as well as talk about how the Academy can potentially help you. So definitely, Shanice, it doesn't matter if it's phone or Skype. Like our goal
Just
is
let us know.
Yeah, exactly. Our goal is to understand you, where you're at, and see if it's a good fit. And like I said, it's not necessarily a good fit for everybody. And that's good for the people that we do let in. Other questions, guys, go ahead and enter them in here. But Peter, let's talk about 2017 and one of the big kind of mindset shifts or breakthroughs that you've had as we make this journey to take a 7-figure business to the next level. Like what are you really focused on right now to make that happen in 2018 as we've got more questions coming in here?
Yep. I think for me, it's knowing myself at an even deeper level, knowing how to spark my own fire, not depending on other people, and really becoming more valuable myself and becoming irreplaceable myself to where I'm becoming selfless and I can give more. That's what I've been focused on, because when you become irreplaceable, it doesn't matter what happens with the economy or anything around you, you're going to crush it. So I think just making sure that I'm thinking about ways to add more value in a unique way, and me just getting to know myself and understanding my only competition is the person in the mirror, and not comparing. I think the ultimate misery, Austin, and we've both done this, is comparing yourself to others. It's the ultimate way to be miserable. So me, it's bettering my best, consistently asking myself the tough questions, like how to spark my own fire. What is my area of genius? Where am I thinking 2x when I should be thinking 10x? And making sure I'm hiring the right people, and we're expanding our team. We're consistently hiring people that can align with our vision as well. So that's just some breakthroughs, is just becoming irreplaceable. I think a lot of people are looking for outside circumstances to not only give them permission, but to make them money, when it's like, no, if you're not an A player, if you're not consistently investing in yourself, getting around high-level people like this mastermind does, you're not going to attract the right people.
Yep.
Because they're not going to want to work for you because you're not leveling up your game. So the first step is to be a little selfish and level up your game, and then you can be a giver. You can't just sit there and give to people if you don't have much to give.
Yep.
You have to educate yourself and become irreplaceable and so valuable, and you have to master your craft where you're so good people can't ignore you. If you look at the entertainment industry and you look at actors and you look at even hip-hop, some of these artists that are 18, 19 that have millions of fans, they're making millions of dollars with no record labels because A, they're embracing their individuality, being themselves. B, they're creating good music and they're mastering their craft. There's no gatekeepers anymore. If you're good enough, you will make millions of dollars, period. But you have to believe that, and you have to make sure that you're consistently investing in yourself. So that's been, I just been thinking a lot about that, is just continuing to become more valuable. And the world's going to know who I am if I become more valuable. We just had a girl ask us, Austin, how do I become like a known speaker? Get so freaking good at speaking that the people have to book you. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what's on my mind.
And that mindset, like direction there, guys, is so important. What could have Peter said? A bunch of external things. Right, he could have put his control on different circumstances with the economy and with this, that, and the other. But he said, no, to get the results that I want, I'm going to start with myself. And that's where it always begins. And that's one of the first 2 weeks, we're going to help you really dial in yourself. Right. And that's going to have a crazy residual impact on every area of your life, the people around you, your environment, your momentum. Make yourself indispensable. And that'll trickle over. Great question here, I think, from Jesse. Peter, were you in a relationship in your grinding days before your big success? If so, how did you handle that?
I mean, do you want me to sugarcoat or just be real? Okay, well, I was in a couple relationships, to be honest. I mean, I was young, 23, 24. So I would be very honest, but I didn't have much time to hang out with girls, and I didn't have a relationship. So I obviously was like hanging with different girls. I shouldn't say that, but I was 23, 24, and I was seeing what I wanted. And I realized that was kind of a waste of time because I was so focused on my vision. And I met Kayla 2009. So I was in the grind, and she saw me grinding, and it took a lot of conversation and up and downs and back and forths, and us actually not being together for a year or two, and just saying, hey, I'm in the grind. I don't want a relationship, and her agreeing and her doing her own thing. So we met back up, and I was ready, and she was the one. And you have to make sure that they support you for who you are. They understand you. They somewhat have an entrepreneur focus, because if you are a full-blood entrepreneur and your wife is a full-blood secure 9-to-5er and they're not willing to change, whew, that is an upward battle. So yes, I was in some relationships. I kind of slowly got rid of those relationships and I was focused on the grind. And communication is the biggest key to a relationship when you're in the grind. Letting them know. And I told Kayla, and she understood. I said, I'm grinding so hard because I want to help people. I want to make a name for myself. I want to build a lifestyle I'm proud of. I want, if everything is good with us, I want us to have a lifestyle where we don't have any limitations. Mm-hmm. And she wasn't like, yeah, that's not for me. I want someone that wants security. She was like, perfect. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that answers your question, but it's not easy. And I'm very lucky and fortunate to have like a wife that I do, that we met at that time. And we're different, but we're similar. And she supported the vision 100%. She understands me, lets me do my own thing. I let her do her own thing, full trust. And it's amazing. But I feel bad saying that because some people don't have those relationships, but you just got to be picky and stubborn. That's all it is.
And I love what we've built with the Academy, because it's a family. And once you have those real people that have your back, that understand your situation, you talk about real topics, right? Yes, we're going to teach you about money. Yes, we're going to teach you about some marketing strategies. Yes, we're going to teach you how to delegate and fire yourself. But also we're going to talk about some real stuff that hits home. And we just had a mastermind call, what was it, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. And the topic was confidence.
Oh, yeah.
How to build world-class confidence. And based on the questions and like all the people that were interacting, it was crazy. Like so many comments for that live call, like with the community interacting. And we turned our conversation to relationships. And that's where we could really tell that it kind of hit home for people, because your spouse, as Peter shared in the first 20 minutes, is like, who you spend the rest of your life with is probably the number one thing for your life. And we talked about the strategies, like what to do to make that a success. And everything that we shared as far as the 3 pieces, the support, the peers, the mentors, they all matter in harmony. And we're going to get real. We're going to get raw. We want to understand what's like really holding you back. Sometimes it's mindset stuff. Sometimes it's actual people in your life. Sometimes it's a relationship. Like the difficult stuff that you feel like you can't talk with anybody else. If you're in the right mastermind network and have the right community, guess what? You can talk about that stuff. And we're going to go there and based on your questions.
We hold nothing back.
Yeah, we hold nothing back. And that alone is some of the priceless stuff. Yes, we're going to help you make money and get a crazy ROI on anything that we would ever charge you, obviously. But really, we're focused on like the real results. And the real results are your entire life, including your happiness, your freedom, your time, and of course, your financial flexibility, if you will.
Tim says, for those of you wondering, Peter and Austin dedicate a lot of time talking relationships and then making sure you establish a business that is congruent with your lifestyle. I mean, that's a huge benefit. And I've noticed, I'll be honest, we're not there to become your best friends. Like, I'm not joking. We're there to challenge you. You already have friends. We're there to challenge you and to hold you to super high standards. Like, we're not there to be your best friends and tell you what you need to hear. We're going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear as well. Yep. So keep that in mind. And let me say this too. And any questions you have, hold them for me, Austin. But can you imagine, like, people in your mind? Think about this logically. Can you think of people in your mind that have done really well in entrepreneurship and have a lifestyle that you want, or people that just are happy, they love what they do? Can you picture that person in your mind right now? Think about a couple people that you know that just love life, that are happy, they have an impact or whatever. Yep. Now picture people that maybe are struggling, always complaining, cynical, negative. Maybe they tried entrepreneurship or sales and they lost money, or they quit and now they have a bad taste. Maybe they lost everything. Now, let me ask you this. Why is there such a disparity? Why are some making millions and even 6 figures? Because I preach this. I'd rather make $200K a year, love my life and be proud and happy and have a fulfilling lifestyle that I'm proud of, than make $100 million a year, hating everything I do and really being frustrated. Yep. It's not about the money. It's about the feeling and being world-class. But anyways, why are some people making millions and some losing everything? Is it lack of opportunity, or is it lack of knowledge and network? Let me ask you that. Think about it. Why is there such a disparity in our society between people making millions and people struggling? There's not much of an in-between. Middle class is like disappearing. Is it lack of opportunity or lack of knowledge and network? And I'm guessing that you guys said lack of what? Knowledge and network. You're more right than you even know. Most people aren't thriving. Most people want, but they're never investing in themselves and taking real action. So if you don't invest in yourself, you can't expect success.
Yeah.
Right? So what would you tell the people that are struggling that don't want to invest in themselves? Think about it. What would you tell them? Think about it. You'd say you're crazy for expecting anything without giving anything. In order to go up, you have to give up something. You have to decide what you want, and then you have to really figure out what you're willing to give up to get what you want. We want to make sure you give up the bare minimum to get what you want. That's why we have such a trunk-tight program that's going to help you maximize your success based on your values. But we can't, like I said, we can't want it for you more than you want it for yourself. You have to have some underlying reasons. You have to have some internal drive that's like, I'll never forget these 5 instances. I remember my mom's 25th wedding anniversary. She wanted her 3 best friends from high school and college to go, and one of her number 1 best friend could not make my mom's 25th wedding anniversary. So I'm like, I don't know, I'm 20. I don't know how old I am, but she wrote a handwritten letter and she gave him 8 months in advance. Austin, can you guess why she couldn't make it? Why do you think she couldn't make it?
Because she didn't have the time freedom. She didn't have control.
Time or money.
Yep.
It's like, so I'm young. I'm thinking in my head, dude, I am never going to have someone else tell me what I'm worth or what I can do. So you need to have those instances. I don't know what they are for you. That's one of mine that I'll never get another job. If I get all my money taken from me tonight, nothing will change. Yep. I'll get up and hustle tomorrow and I'll get it back. Yep. But you have to have those instances in your head. I don't know what they are. You have to pull those out when you go through tough times to keep you focused on what's next. So that's why I'm so passionate about this, because there's too many people that want success, but they're not actually willing to sacrifice or anything. So it's just, it's mind-boggling to me.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Shanice says, is the call still free from the UK or only from US call? Shanice, we have people from all throughout the world, but if you're concerned about the call being free or not, we haven't shown you enough value here. And we're going to help you make a lot of money that if you never have to be concerned about the cost of a call again, international or not, right? So we could do Skype, we could do whatever you want. Like, it doesn't really matter, but really we're going to start with your mindset and have you just start thinking a lot bigger so that you stop worrying about the small stuff. So many people, myself included, this is the way I used to be, is I worried so much about the small stuff that really just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. If we can help you change one thing, change your perspective, change your mindset, change your internal belief about yourself, like that alone is going to be something that's going to impact your life for the rest of your, obviously, life. For the rest of your life. Start to change your mindset. And how do you change your mindset? You put the right information in. You have the right environment around you, AKA your people, right? And it's just infectious, and you ultimately build it up one step at a time and become unstoppable. Soon, you'll have the confidence that Peter has. I know that for a fact because, well, here's a quick story. I started a podcast. I was traveling around the world. I was doing something that I was passionate about, which was sharing stuff about money and the mindset based on the success of my first business. And I was just in total freedom mode. I was taking a little mini retirement, like I said, traveling around the world. And I got on a Skype interview with Peter. Peter was featured on my podcast. And he brought so much energy that he literally shook me to my core. I hung up that call and I said, what the hell just happened? And he kind of woke me up from this freedom state, which was great. Like, follow the season of your life, right? I was in total freedom mode, working the 4-hour work week, just loving life and doing that. And Peter was like, he brought so much energy and passion that I was like, boom, that's what I want. I want to feel that. I want to have that conviction about the impact that I'm having in the world. I want to move that fast. And guess what? Peter and I started to build a relationship. Then we started to work together in a small way. Then we started working together bigger way. And ultimately now I can say with confidence that I have the same amount of confidence that Peter has, which is crazy to think in only 3 years since we've known each other that that's happened, right? Crazy to think. And the same will happen for you. Every area of your life, if you look at where your average network is right now, from a happiness standpoint, an income standpoint, a confidence standpoint, health, everything else that matters, and then look at it where it will be by having the right mentors, by having the community, by having these other peers and connections, by changing your support network with the strategies that we talked about. It's going to totally change so that when we're talking 12 months from now, you're a completely different person. And most people think about becoming a new person as a bad thing. It's actually a great thing. Guess what? You're going to lose some people on your journey to success, and that's fine, right? You're going to have to ultimately become the person that you're worthy of and leave some of those people behind. And the way to do it is to get around the right support network, the right environment, the right people.
That's it. I mean, you can't get more important than betting on yourself. I see people betting on so many things, Austin, whether it's like gambling or horse races or betting on other people. It's like, bet on yourself.
Yep.
What other bet can you make? And we're just trying to help you. Time's going to go by anyways, the next 6 months to a year. How many of you guys are like, I cannot believe it is December? I feel like it was last Christmas, like 2 days ago. Time is going to pass by no matter what, and time waits for nobody. You might as well give yourself the best advantage and maximize your life and your business and your income and your success. You might as well do that. Yep. You know what I mean? It's like time is going to pass by, and before you know it, it's going to be bam, it's going to be Christmas 2018. And most people looking back, Austin, they either have the same year they had before or a worse year. Mm. You know, and then it's harder and harder to gain momentum. I think the two scariest things in life and business are momentum or lack of momentum. Mm. And most people operate from a fear state of no momentum. And if you have momentum, things become easier. You're 3 times more productive. Life gets a lot more enjoyable. So we just want to help you build momentum. But we're excited. Any other questions, guys? We see a lot of exciting comments. I know Liz is saying she fears success. A lot of people do. When you fear success, that means you're caring what other people think. Drop that. Just live the life that you feel like will inspire you the most. And if you just take the necessary actions every day, I was looking at these goals I set in 2014. And like, here's an important lesson you guys got to think about. I wrote these goals down in 2014. I wrote them down, but I actually didn't fully believe I was going to hit those. I would have bet anything that I wasn't going to hit them. I still wrote them down, and I still took action every day like I was going to hit them. And I had to take action and believe until my belief that I needed to actually make them happen caught up with me. So it doesn't matter if you fully believe you can. It does matter because belief's important, but I'm just telling you a real life story that sometimes when I write my goals down, I have fear and I don't fully believe I can accomplish them. I don't care. I still write them down. I still look at them daily, and I still take action like I'm going to achieve them. And through the action, confidence starts to follow. So you guys, when you write your goals down, I want to make 6 figures next year. I want to quit my job and make 6 figures and do things on my terms. You could maybe not believe that when you write it, but when you stack ammo and you get on the academy, you talk to us, you get on the calls, and you continue every day to take bigger action towards your goals, it's going to happen eventually.
Yep.
So don't focus on 2 years, 5 years. Focus on what you're going to do to maximize today, then the next day, while thinking about your 6-month vision. So anything else, Austin? I'm fired up. I'm excited. We're getting a lot of applications. We can't wait to connect with you guys over the next couple of days. Make sure you show up on time. Bring your #1 challenge. And these calls will be actually valuable for you too. They're not just going to be like us talking about the academy. And if you think, by the way, we're going to sell you on the academy on the call, you're dead wrong. Yep. Like if someone says, tell me about the academy, why should I join? Here's what they're going to say. Actually, to be honest, you don't need to join. This might probably not for you if you're going to ask that. If we feel like we have to sell people on the academy, it's not for them. Yep. So and if you're thinking, I don't want to be on a sales call, I promise you, no one's going to sell you anything. We're just going to share the opportunity. If it's for you, great. If not, no problem. Yep. Everything's very laid back. We just want to keep it exclusive because we know the value of this academy. We should be charging, 50 times more of the price because of the results people are getting. People are changing their entire family's future because of the academy. They're building connections that are making them an extra $500,000 in 1 year with one connection. Yep. They're totally ripping up their script of their past and creating a brand new script. There's people that got kicked out of English class and flunked high school that have best-selling books. And I'm not joking. There's people that they flunked English class. Now they have best-selling books that are helping millions of people. It's unbelievable what this new economy, what you can do. It's like the traditional learning and the traditional route is just dead now. You know what I mean? If you look at the millionaires that have dropped out of college, it's unbelievable. There's a lot of B and C students owning the companies that the A students like work for.
Exactly.
So weird, but yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm fired up. This is me and yours number one focus for the end of this year, for next year. The Academy is our number one energy focus as far as what we put in. We have guest speakers. We're actually looking to book Alex Rodriguez. I don't know if you know this, Austin, for next year. We have Tim Ferriss coming up. We have Grant Cardone coming up in January. We're fired up. This is going to be a very amazing ride this next year, and we hope you guys join us. We want to welcome you to the family, but once again, it's on you to bet on yourself and take action. So
that's exactly right. Guys, this is the all-in-one system, all right? The training, deep dive training that's proven by thousands of people that have come before you, right? The support network, the like-minded peers, over 750 real game changers from all throughout the world, the live mastermind calls, the private millionaire mentors, the biggest names guiding you, Peter and I guiding you and having your back and ultimately supporting you, giving you those perspective shifts. And then, like I said, we've got 4 minutes here left for those of you that are going to get the business model validation workshop as well. That's just totally going to transform your clarity and confidence in your business as you ignite some big momentum here to start January 1st on fire and make 2018 amazing. So Peter, let's go ahead and wrap up, guys. There's just 4 minutes here, less than 4 minutes now, to get this business model validation, just because like we want to keep this exclusive, because usually this would only be for our inner circle members. But we wanted to share with you something to really make sure that 2018 is definitely the best year ever. And it's going to be for those of you that are in the Academy, in the family, and we're excited to welcome you in. So Peter,
don't wait till your back's against the wall like I did. Austin didn't. I did. Don't wait till your back's against the wall. Don't wait till your relationship's in turmoil. Don't wait till you literally have no money and your kids are frustrated. Don't wait. That's the thing here. It's funny. You're probably going to apply anyways. Eventually, you might as well apply now and get the big discount for the end of the year as well. So I'm excited. One thing that really helped me out was just writing my name down and looking at my name and asking me, what do I want my name to mean? Like for you guys too, write your name down. You want to start hustling for your last name, not your first name. What does your name mean? A lot of times someone's name means something very different to other people than what they think it means. Like my name used to mean, Austin, oh, he cuts corners. Oh, he talks too much. He doesn't back up his action. That was my name. I just talked a lot about results. Now I hope my name has changed to someone that really cares and adds value to people and is living a world-class life that inspires people. But your job is to make your name mean something. Not for you, but for the people that come after you, for your legacy as well. And that's what it's all about. It's just doing what's right for you, your family, and knowing your values, and before anything, being a world-class human being and living a world-class lifestyle. And that's what we want to help you with. So no, I appreciate all the kind words, guys. Thank you so much. We don't really have anything else. We just wanted to get on and vibe with you guys, answer your questions, share this value. And to be honest, if you don't apply, no problem. Hopefully you got some value. For those of you guys that did apply, be ready to level up at the highest level the next couple months to a year. So we're excited. Have an amazing rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. Continue to follow me in Austin. I mean, our number one focus, we're putting out a lot of content. We're going to continue to add value. Make sure I'm pretty active on Instagram too, guys, Peter J. Voog, and it's at Netzley as well. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you. And let me know if you need anything. And we're excited to connect with you the next couple days on these calls.
You guys rock. See you in the family. GameChangersMoves.com/yes. Really excited for you guys, and we'll see you soon. See ya.